Hey there, Tanner from Tatman's Bike Builds, and in this one we're going to be working on the BIGBEAR. I got some valve seals for it, so we're going to try and pull the head off. I'd like to try it without getting the motor out of the machine. So I'm going to try and pull the head and then replace the valve seals, see if that stops the smoking issue, and then we'll go from there if it needs piston or rings or what, so forth. Top plastic off, so I'm gonna pop the gas tank off and see if I'm gonna have access to it. So I'm gonna make sure it's on top dead center before I tear anything apart. That way when I put it back together, it'll be simple, line up the marks and go. So it does in fact look like I will be able to pull this head off without removing the motor. So there's the 4 head bolts. They will just clear. I know these are long. They're all the way to the bottom of the block, so they're clear, so they'll come straight out. So we should have no problem pulling this head off. So I popped the spark plug out. She is dirty. Can't really get a look in there, but we won't be putting that back in. Okay, so my cam mark is lined up, but there was no mark here indicating top dead center, so I just put a Sharpie mark, and I'm just gonna tear it apart. I'm not moving anything. Keep the chain in the same position, and we'll put it back together accordingly to the marks I made. As you can see, the piston is at the top, very dark and carbonated. So you can see that we are at top dead center. You can see the piston right there. Okay, I got the cam chain tensioner off. I got it's all loose here now. Oh, I'm gonna hit this with a 17 mil impact. Electric. Okay. I've got the head bolts out. All I've got left to do is pull the header off, pull the carburetor intake manifold off, and everything's loose here. I got the 17 mil loose, so I'm just gonna pull those 2 components off and try and knock this head off. Okay, I got the head off, so it does come off without taking the motor out. It wasn't too bad, you just gotta pull this out, come right out. Yeah, I don't know, I just gotta take this home now and replace the valve seals, put it back in, see what that does. So another thing I noticed when I was pulling that head off was this is the carb boot that goes from the carb to the airbox. Well, as you can see, no good. So I'm gonna try to jimmy rig this and see if I can't get this to hold until I get a new one. Because yeah, that's no good. Okay, so I was able to get it
actually sealed up pretty good. So this is nice and solid now. A bit tacky still, but all the cracks are filled in. I'm gonna peel this tape out. I think this will be good. Overnight this will harden fully, and I mean, I could always just get some radiator tubing and get the right diameter and just, you know, run my own kind of boot. But this will work temporarily.
Okay, so I've ran into problems trying to find a, so this is a metric bolt that you need. It's metric thread pitch. It'll be an M5 that'll fit in there. But you need something that you can thread into that bolt, and then, you know, like a long stud, right? And then once that stud's all the way to, you know, threaded in, take a washer and another nut, and, you know, put like a crescent wrench here, and let the washer come up against the crescent wrench, and then tighten that nut, and keep tightening that nut until that pressed in rocker arm, that like the piece that locks that rocker arm in, it presses out, or it's pressed in, so when you suck that out you can get it out. But I'm not even going to be able to get to these valves because I can't even get a hold of a stud in that size. So I did get a hold of a piston kit, so piston rings, everything. I cleaned up the face of the head here. And yeah, I don't know, I noticed when I drained the oil it really smelled like gas. So I mean, that is a very fair indication that it's got to be the rings, right? So the video's turned into a top end rebuild now. We'll see if that stops the smoking, and then if obviously it's still smoking after this, well, I'll have to figure out getting a hold of a stud so I can change those valves, because that is not as easy as I was expecting. Okay, so I just got to remove this Allen right here, and then I'll be able to pull the cylinder off, and then we'll be able to have access to the piston, and then, yeah. Well, you know, good thing I didn't waste my time with those valves, because obviously, yeah. So the cylinder actually doesn't look too bad. I should be able to hone this out. It's got some good scoring, but it's an old quad. I should be able to hone this out. Like, none of this is, can't really feel any of this, so I can feel a little bit here and here. But we'll see how the hone does. Okay, cylinder is in position. I barely have this tight. I have, like, you can see that it's literally just on the rag here. So it can move around, but it's enough to keep it in there while I'm using the drill. So okay, I got some 1030 oil here. I'm just gonna coat the cylinder walls. You want to have your drill at about a medium drill speed. And keep a constant speed going in and out. That was a little rough. I'm gonna put some more oil. A little bit. Definitely looks way better. Give it a cross hatching. But still some scoring here. Keep going. So I've honed it out pretty good. Got a good cross hatching, but I do fear that that spot right there might haunt me. So I don't know if I might have to replace this cylinder, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, got the service cleaned, new pistons in, all the circlips are, well, both of the circlips are in. Just gonna get a gasket here, and then yeah, be able to put it all back together and go from there. A little off topic, but I figured I'd check, and what a beautiful surprise! Oh my! Wow! How nice! Okay, so I got the piston in the cylinder. We're just gonna throw the head on now, put everything back together. Okay, head bolts are snugged up. So now we just gotta put the timing components all back together. Timing chain back together. Yeah, very close. Also another thing, I'm not sure I missed that, but we do have top dead center. So okay, got everything connected. Everything's back together. Getting spark, got the new spark plug in. Moment of truth now. Okay. Well, that'll do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. We're gonna get this thing in the mud.